Welcome back, guys. So, been a while since I had a video with a chart in it. Like, does this guy even trade? Does he just draw pretty scenarios out for us? Um, so today we're going to talk about. This is going to be the introduction to the volume profile series. So, I've scoured the interwebs, scoured the YouTubes, uh, watching volume profile videos, and comparing it to how I use it. Because what I didn't want to do was just regurgitate a bunch of information that's already out there. And I also wanted to fill in the holes to information that was out there. So if you can watch someone else's video and it'll pique your interest, and then you watch my video, and then you watch me live trade, and you go, okay, this is how it's applied in real life, in in a real live trading context. I think you get a lot more value out of it that way. That's why I encourage people to go check out other channels. Like, YouTube's huge. There's over 1 billion people using YouTube at any one point. So, there's no need to compete with anyone. If I have channels that help me, I share them and I comment in their sections, and I tell them what a good job they're doing, and I like to compare my content to the people with many more subscribers than me. So I've scoured the web to give you a pretty good introductory video to volume profile. So I'm going to try to keep this one short. Ha! When does that work? No, I'm going to try to keep it short though, because it's just an intro. And depending on how many likes I get on videos, that's how I decide to continue this series. Okay, so you can really consider any video I start to make a part one of something. And if it gets traction, I'll spend more time on it. Supply and demand, guys. You want to demand the content that you want to see, let me know in the comments, and if there's enough demand, I will supply the video and the knowledge. And if I don't know about it, I'll learn about it just to teach you. So, um, volume profile. So we're all about volume analysis. I'm all about what is volume telling you in relation to price. Volume profile is an amazing, amazing tool that's going to help you get there. So let's just keep it simple here in the introduction. Let's go to volume profile, session volume. Now, what session volume does is it puts this profile on your chart for each session, a session being a day. Okay, so these are 5 minute bars. If I change it to 15-minute bars, you see how they kind of collapse. If I change it to hour bars, there's only 6 bars on every profile. Okay, but you get it. All right, it's volume profile for each section. So we're just going to go through what the volume profile is, what are its main components, and then in future videos we'll expand on how I use it. I am going to start doing a series every day about like a day in the market or something like that, where I review the S&P 500 in relation to volume profiles and see and try to predict where the market's going, and try to see at the end of the day from the last video, did we predict correctly? So you guys can really see how powerful this is. So we talked about volume. Um, Volume profile tells you volume at price. Okay, now we're all should be familiar with volume bars at this point. The bars tell you volume by time. So each of these is a 5 minute bar, represents 5 minutes in time. The bars on the bottom are going to give you the volume in that 5 minutes. Okay, that's very helpful if you're trading, time. But this is helpful for trading levels. Okay, and I think of volume profile literally like a cheat code, because people that don't use it, they're just kind of blind in the markets. If you don't have any of that information, yeah, you can see support and resistance. Like if I'm just eyeing this here, I can see, okay, look at this. It stopped here, gapped down, came up, had trouble getting over it, had a reaction to it here, had a reaction to it here. Bam, this is a support zone, or support and resistance zone. Okay, you can just draw that out right there, just seeing it, just seeing it on charts. You put on the volume profile though, okay, and you can see in what ways is this zone relevant. Okay, but I'm not going to get into that too much, but just going to go through the volume profile as it stands right now. So this red line here, it's called the point of control. Okay, it's the most traded price of the day, most traded area of the day. Okay, so throughout for the length that this profile spans, this area right here, this is the POC. This is where most buyers and sellers interacted on this day. Okay, and we won't go whether into this is sell volume or buy volume. You will get into that in later videos. This area here, this highlighted area that you see, this is called the area of value. Okay, I have this on default settings, so the area of area of value is 70% of where all prices have been traded. Okay, so just by looking at this chart from right now, just glancing at it, you know off the top where 70% of the volume occurred at. Okay, this is where 70% of all buys and sells occurred that day. All right, pretty knowledgeable to know, right? So you know that outside the value area, okay, that 30% of all combined volume occurred outside of that. So let's take 30%. Let's say this looks about twice as big as this area. So you could probably say this is 20%, and then you could probably say this is 10%, and then this is 70%. We know that, right? So you just got 100% of your volume, but now you know up here people only traded 20% of the time. In this box here, they traded 70% of the time, and in this down here, they traded 10% of the time. So already you know when you're trading up to or below in a certain area where prices may likely reject. Okay, and this is before you know anything else that I'm going to teach you. You know, okay, look, most of the volume happened here. Okay, this is a sweet spot. There was a disagreement in price here. What this shows you guys at the end of the day is agreement and disagreement. Okay, if everyone agrees on a price, okay, if you have something to sell and you want to sell it, and then someone else wants to buy it at that price, you have an agreement on price. Okay, there's no advantage to you there. There may be an advantage because you want to sell, you need the money, whatever. You can get filled in this area. But what I mean by advantage is there's no advantage to make outsized amounts of money because you don't have a disagreement on price. As traders, we make money when there's a disagreement on something. We make money when we buy something here because we believe it's worth more and it's going to go up. The person that sold here obviously believes he's getting a good price for it, or it's worth less, or he wouldn't have sold it to you, right? So you disagree on price here. That's how you're able to get this and then get up here and sell it at the price that you believe is a better price. So what you're looking at here is fair value. And above this, it's called the value area high and the value area low. Okay. So up here, we only spent 20% of the time here. This is not considered fair value right now. You see that? This is not considered fair value on this day. And you can know that by looking at this profile and seeing that if it was fair value, price would have traded here more. There would have been more of an agreement here on price. Okay? Does it make sense? There would have been everyone that agreed here, they would have wanted to continue to stay here because, yeah, this is a good price. We'll trade here all day. But they didn't. They traded here for 6 candles and then they broke down into this area and created this. Okay? So POC, value area low, value area high. Okay? These spaces inside of the profile, really inside the whole thing, where there's light volume traded right here, these are called LVNs. Okay, they're called low volume nodes. Okay, these are areas where price was not traded very much. So if you know that 30% of the volume's here, or 70% of the volume's here, but in this little area down here, price was not attracted to this area. People were not attracted to doing business in this area. Okay, you can set up a strategy to trade this area. And what we expect to happen at low volume nodes is we expect price to either blow through them quickly because there's no orders there, okay? Or we expect them to reject them and go back up because there's no order, because they don't want to trade into that area. There's no interest in trading in this area. Okay. And that's kind of what you see here. You kind of see this rejection in this low volume note. Now, what I've seen in a lot of volume profile videos, and I'm going to cut this now, they try to act like this, I can go through here after all this is done and say, oh, look, and you could have seen here that this was a support here. And you could have seen, I could go through here and do this, but this is not printed at the beginning of the day. Okay, this profile is not printed at the beginning of the day. This develops as price is printed. This develops as the day goes on. So you have to actually interpret this live as it's happening. Okay, you can't just slap this on a chart and get all this information because it hasn't even happened yet. So what I've seen that a lot of videos on YouTube miss is they show you charts like this and they try to say, well, yeah, you could have seen that this was happening and that was happening when you couldn't have as the day was developing. So in the next videos, we will get into actually trading it and actually interpreting it live and interpreting it after the market's closed to get an idea of where the market's going the next day. Okay. And we'll do that with, things like developing POC. This tells you where this most traded price was during the day, developing value area high and low. You see how it changed throughout the day. So that's what's coming up. If you guys want to see it, you gotta demand it. Okay. You gotta comment, you gotta like, you gotta let me know this is what you want to see. I got a lot of info about it. I use it in my trading, and I think the series is going to be one of your favorites. So, but you got to let me know because if not, I'll move on to another topic. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.